Okay, welcome to today's yin class. You will want a block or a book or even a firm pillow. We will be doing supported fish. So you want to be able to put this under your upper back. So just coming back to remembering a few things about the yin yoga. When we're in a pose, we're looking to find that edge where we feel that stretch but we're not pushing too far. We want to make sure that we're settling and not fidgeting, and we're holding for those long periods of time. So you can start in Shavasana, getting yourself ready, taking some nice deep breaths here, palms facing up, and just letting yourself melt to the mat. Letting the ankles go, closing the eyes here, and just breathing. So a big part of this yin is finding stillness. So if you feel like you need to wiggle or scratch, just let that thought pass. So you take some nice big deep breaths. Starting a slower breath pace, trying to breathe in and out through the nose. And bring our thoughts a little internally towards the body. Just having a little check-in to see if anything's feeling sore, stiff, and just take any mental note of that, and we'll come back to that at the end of class. So a lot of times yin, because we're holding and not flowing, lets our minds wander and bring out a lot of thought. So if you find this happens, just bring your mind back to that breath. Back to the body, back to focusing on stillness, finding that inner calm. Breathing nice, slow, and deep breaths continually throughout our entire practice today. Taking note of all the points of contact of your body on the floor. And don't move, don't wiggle, just take note that this is how your body chose to settle today. Take a few more deep breaths here. Trying to find a little stillness within the mind, following suit with that body. Take one last breath here. Nice and big, and exhale all that air out. On your next inhale, we're going to put both knees into our chest here. And just do a little rocking here, because I know a lot of us do too much sitting nowadays, or just in general. Going from side to side. And we're going to find stillness. We're going to come underneath, grab below our knees, and we're going to just do a few rocks up and down, finding a nice comfortable seated position here. You can face me or face the top of your mat, but if you want to be kind of in the middle of your mat here. So let's bring the soles of our feet together here, sitting nice and upright. Making those adjustments now. Take a nice big inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to fold over here, letting the head hang loose, finding where you want to keep your hands for this full hold, whether it's grabbing your feet or maybe you're just going to place the weight just on the base of your skull, adding a little extra weight for that neck stretch. Wherever it is, remember we're finding stillness. You can close the eyes here. Most yin poses are great for eye closing and relaxing. Now remember, we do want to hold our stillness, but if you're ever feeling sharp pain, anything shooting, you can come out of the pose and just readjust. We never want to be in pain here. Just want to feel a nice stretch. This one's pretty gentle. I've chosen to have my hands on my feet, so I'm really getting into those inner thighs. But if you've chosen to have your hands on your neck, that's also alright. being content with the choice you made today. Making sure as you inhale, you're taking full, deep, slow breaths, letting those lungs, diaphragm, chest expand. And as you exhale, push all that oxygen out. Again, trying to focus here, being still, or maybe your breath should help calm the mind as well. Remembering letting all those thoughts of the day or the things you have to do still just go. Just enjoy being in this moment. Being able to take the time to breathe in the fresh, pure oxygen and exhale all that carbon dioxide that we don't need anymore. Experiencing the cycle of life, inhaling and exhaling. Take one more big breath here. And as you inhale, you can release your hands and slowly bring yourself back up to a nice seated position. And then come from the side here. And I'm going to straighten my left leg. I'm going to pull my right knee into my chest as much as I can. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to a nice Mary Shuts and a twist here. So there's a few variations you can take. We're all going to keep our left foot flexed. We're going to bring our right hand behind us to post to support our hand. I prefer to have my palm down, but as you know, I do have that injury, so I'm going to keep my fingers out. As I inhale, I'm going to reach the left arm up overhead, and exhale, I'm twisting, opening up, pressing that left arm. You can also hug it into that body. Not just focus on inhaling. Tell yourself stay lengthened. And as you exhale, focus on that twist. Still breathing. If you've come to a point again of pain or where you can't breathe properly, that's alright. Feel free to come out of it a little bit. Just find your edge. You may be deeper than I am, you may not be, but be okay with where you're at today. Just letting your neck hang nice and comfortably, where it just wants to gaze. You can even close your eyes here, keeping everything strong, not letting the foot or hand relax, staying in place here. Making sure you're not sagging though into that right shoulder. Just breathe. Letting yourself find acceptance of where your pose is today. And just take note of where you are right now as well mentally, so you can check in with the other side. Just a few more deep breaths here. Keeping your spine long, reaching up through the crown of the head. Enjoying this moment of stillness. Last breath. When you're ready, you could open your eyes. Inhale. We're going to untwist. Just straighten the right leg. Bend the left knee and pull it in as close as you can, making sure it's in line with the hip. Left arm this time comes behind. I'm lengthening up to the crown of the head as I inhale. Reaching the right arm up. And exhale, twist over again. You can hug or you can twist. Either way, we're pulling our body into this twist. Flexing the right foot. So again, find some stillness here, but where you feel a nice stretch without pain, but not too lax. You want to make sure you are near that edge. Letting the eyes shut if that suits you. I find keeping the eyes closed helps still the mind. Less things to trigger memories and thoughts and worry. So just check in here, see how you're feeling compared to the other side, and don't judge. Just to take note of where you're at. Still breathing, still lengthening, keeping everything strong. Taking those full big inhales and exhales. Nice full and deep in, big breaths out. Just enjoy this moment here. Taking a few more deep breaths. And just taking note of how your body's feeling in this moment. Often twists can be hard on the body. Just take note, like I said. Good. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. We're going to untwist. We're going to straighten both legs out. And we're going to take a nice long spine here. We're going to exhale, fold over with a nice flat back as far as you can, and then release the head. So again, you can grab underneath your calves if you can't grab your feet. We'll let the head hang. And we're just gently stretching here, the hamstrings, the lower back. Just let your head hang loose, like you're trying to get it between those knees. Just see how this feels on your back. If you have to, you can come out a little bit and use your arms to post. You can even straighten out that back and have your hands to support you if you have any back pain or anything. Try not to overreach here. So I'll let you take a minute or a few breaths if you need to readjust here. If you're pulling out of the shoulders, pull them in, or maybe just bring the hands below those calves, right? We don't want to overstretch here. We got to hold for quite a while. This is going to be one of our longer poses today. Just find that stillness within the mind. If your body's telling you to stop, get out, that's alright. But if it's your mind going, I'm done, I don't want to do this, push those thoughts away. Tell them, yes, I can. Remember, no pain here, especially in that lower back. Leave those eyes closed if they're not already. Great pose here. Especially if you got your feet, you can stretch out those calves as well. Some of you may find you have more calf and shin pain from being home, not wearing shoes, not being supported. That's okay. Our bodies aren't used to it. It's just giving them a nice little stretch out every once in a while. It's just the thing you need. Get a nice big deep breath here. And just hold that breath at the top. Don't exhale. Hold. Hold. Give me a nice big sigh. Exhale. Release. Go back to your normal deep breaths here. We've just got a few more breaths here in this forward fold. Really embracing the lengthening, the stretch, the stillness. Let's take one last breath here. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly walk ourselves up, find that length in the head, through the crown. Recenter your back, and we're going to bend our legs and we're going to cross them over. We're going to roll onto our knees. So definitely, especially if you have a thin mat, even if not, if you have any knee pain, you might want to fold your mat over once or twice onto the left side here. And I'm going to bring my right hand to the center of the mat. I'm going to step my right leg through. Just bring my hands so they're supporting me into a nice lizard pose here. It's okay if you need to adjust anything here. Just take the few seconds, few breaths to find your stillness. And when you're there, lengthen out through the crown of the head. You've also got a block here if this is too low for you. I find going down any farther is a deep stretch. I mean, you've got a few minutes here. So don't feel like you need to go deep. If you feel a stretch here, trust me, it's going to get real intense real soon. Focus on spreading your fingers, pressing through the fingertips, taking the weight of the body so you can lengthen the spine and focus on the scissoring of those hips. It's a really intense pose as it is, so don't go to your complete depth. If you're there and you're like, uh-oh, we're just about to hit halfway, so you've still got some time left to hold here. You find you're going to want to twitch some toes, make any micro adjustments, but remember, we're staying still here. Just let your movement be the breath movement, expanding and contracting in the chest and lungs. You've got this. Keeping the neck long, guys. Try not to sway or move. We're almost there, just a few more breaths. Give me 2 more slow, big breaths here. Last one. After you take your next exhale, we're going to bring the right knee back. You can unfold your mat if you've got it folded over. And switch yourself so you can cushion the right knee here, folding over once or twice. This time you're going to bring the left hand to the middle. To make any little micro adjustments you need to here. And then we're ready to step the left foot forward into our lizard pose, sinking the hips down. Just gently, remember you've got that block. It's okay if you're not balanced left and right side. And just stick that chest out, lengthen out, and find your stillness here, keeping that left knee tucked into the body. Just a nice long lizard here to open up the hips, the hip flexor. That's it. Just focus on breathing, focus on scissoring. Just take note how this side feels to the other side. If you're a bit lower, a bit higher. If you feel a bit deeper, that's okay. It doesn't matter. Just take note. And return your thoughts to your breath, to your stillness. Telling yourself, the stillness brings beauty. Stillness brings calm, and stillness brings relaxation. So yes, we're using our arms to hold ourselves up. We're using our spine and core to keep our neck and spine long. But we're letting those hips sink and melt and just be in that stillness. I know it can be hard and it seems like we only get a couple poses done, which is the case. But it's kind of sometimes like when you do a stretch after a workout. If you hold it for 5 seconds, you're not really doing much. 20 seconds is that bare minimum to get you anywhere. And of course, the longer you hold, the deeper the relaxation that can happen in those muscles, the more lengthening, to help bring you a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more calm. Alright, we've just got a few more breaths here. Just taking those nice big inhales and exhales to release. Let's do one more breath. And exhale, release. After that last exhale, we're going to bring ourselves back into that nice tabletop position. Unroll your mat. And we're going to bring the knees together, the toes together. I'm going to send my hips back towards my feet. I'm going to drop my forehead to the mat. I'm going to bring my palms by my side, letting my shoulders fall down. You may find you need to do a little tucking with that body, that torso, just to find that comfort. And that's okay. You're going to find you're going to not be able to expand your lungs forward as much anymore. It's what we really call that back breathing. Here in Balasana, that nice child's pose. Great pose to let yourself melt and just be free. If you struggled with the breath at all because you're not used to having this body compressing to the knees, that's okay. Just focus on taking nice big slow breaths. I promise you won't run out of oxygen. If you get to the point where it's not okay, you can always come up a little bit and take a few deep breaths. But most of us should be able to still our breath with our body. Just a little bit, getting enough oxygen in and out to be sustainable. And more than that, thriving in this relaxed pose. Take note of all the little places your body is connecting with the mat now. Forehead, knees, maybe your shins, your tops of your feet, your hands, your forearms, maybe a bit of your upper arms. And that's okay if one side's pressed more than the other. You can breathe, find some balance here. Maybe one side's just a little looser. That's okay. Taking note. Then coming back to that stillness. Just breathing in and out. Notice if your fingers feel like they need to twitch or move. Just try and hold that stillness. Maybe let that be your mind's focus if it needs to be. Telling yourself you can do this. You can hold on, you can be still. And it's okay if you're not perfect at first. Yin does take a little bit of practice. And it's something I've got to push myself with this as well. Not to scratch, not to twitch, not to move, not to readjust. To just be here and relaxed. Take a few more deep breaths. Letting yourself surrender here. Last little inhale here. And exhale, release. We're going to release our hands first, bring them up by our head, and then we're going to push ourselves up to a nice tabletop position. This is where you're going to want to grab your block. We're going to flip over onto our sides here. So I'm just going to show you here. You're going to take your block, your book, or pillow, whatever, lengthwise, and you're just going to put it in the upper back between those shoulder blades. So you can come down onto your forearm. And this one, you're going to want to adjust. I'm just going to take my hair out here. Ladies, if your ponytail's in the way, you're definitely going to want to adjust it so that the top of your head can come down to the mat. Your palms can either come into cactus or by your side, depending on how deep you want to stretch. Just take a second here to adjust the block, adjust your arms into the stillness that you find today in this supported fish or supported Matsyatsa. Maybe open up that chest, the heart to the sky, ready to receive some energy and love. Just breathing into the chest now, letting the lungs fully expand. As you inhale and fully compress all the air out at the bottom. Some nice big deep breaths here. Letting your face relax. If you find you're holding any tension, any squinting, even if you got a smile on your face, just let all those muscles go. You can just be here in this moment. You may find if you're not used to having the top of your head on the mat, you may want to adjust and wiggle around. Try and fight that urge. And just keep to that stillness. Maybe if you've taken cactus arms, you're starting to feel that deep, deep stretch in those pecs start to sink. Again, try and stay with it. Letting it just surrender you. If you ever have any pain, definitely back off. But remember, deep, deep stretching. Getting to that uncomfortable point is sometimes what yin is all about. Getting to that point where your body is forced to release and relax, or it otherwise would stay tense and tight. We're here to push past those boundaries, giving ourselves a little bit of relaxation, but also a little bit of love and stretching and finding that stillness to help balance out our busy, chaotic lives. Letting yourself just breathe here. Letting gravity just take hold. Even if you hear your body making some funny noises and digesting, gurgling, that's okay. All natural, your body's just doing its thing. Bring your mind back internally. Trying to find a little bit of calmness with your mind and breath. If you find your mind is still wandering, pick a focal point, like your breath, or a point in your body, and just focus on that. And when thoughts come in your head, just brush them by, keeping focus on your one point. Take a few more deep breaths here. Letting yourself fully melt, fully surrender. Last breath. Nice big exhale. And then slowly we're going to lift our head, tuck our chin, and we're going to walk ourselves onto our forearms so we can just get rid of that block there. We're just going to come down for final Shavasana. We're not going to hold this one unless you've got more time, but we're coming toward the end of our practice. Just take a moment here in stillness And now take a moment to wiggle everything, move everything, scratch, roll, rock, letting yourself move. Before we take one last little segue into our section of no movement. Take a few breaths here in Shavasana, thanking your body for showing up, thanking it and your mind for trying to be still. Just take note how your body feels now compared to the beginning of class. Now how your mind and mood feel. Hopefully you're feeling a little more relaxed, maybe a little bit more sleepy. Hopefully you're not heading off to work now. Take your last few breaths here. Like I said, if you got more time, feel free to stay here. Just be still. Otherwise, we're going to bring our hands to our heart center, thanking ourselves for sharing in this relaxing, mood-lifting stillness practice. Thanking our yogis and joining us with their fellow energies. From the light of me to lighting you. Namaste.